Hi, welcome back to Post TV, live from NAB 2012. We're here with Marc Hamaker from Autodesk and Barry Gotch, who is one of our contributors. I'm sure you've read his reviews in Post Magazine, and he's a smoke artist. And smoke is actually the story, I think you would say, from NAB this year for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we're really excited. We announced smoke yesterday. We were hoping we would get some buzz around it, and it seems that it's gotten a lot of buzz, so we're very happy.
Absolutely, and for those of you that are just kind of learning about this, it's a completely redesigned smoke, which I would makes it more accessible to everybody out there. Not only using it as a finishing tool, but also a creative editing tool as well. Is that, am I?
For sure. I mean, okay. I would say there are two big things that everyone's talking about. The first is that we did go back and do a pretty much a ground up redesign on how people interact with the effects tools and the editing tools in the software. And our goal there was to make sure that, I mean, we have amazing effects tools, but we want to make sure that people who are coming from an editorial background are able to get up to speed quickly in Smoke so that they can start using those tools in their workflow. And then the other thing is we changed the price very significantly.
Yes.
So Smoke is now just under $3,500 for the software, and just as a reference point, it was $15,000 before that. So really looking at accessibility and really making sure it's affordable to the market.
Now you're also offering a beta trial off the website, is that correct?
Yeah, this is something we haven't done before, but we wanted to get to NAB and talk about Smoke. We knew the time was right to really introduce the product. We're not going to ship it until the fall, and I always joke that it's like, it's Christmas morning, but you have to wait until next year to get something. Yeah, I hate that. So what we're going to do is in June, and we don't know the exact date, but sometime in June we're going to offer the full version of Smoke as a beta to anyone who wants to download it, and they'll be able to use it up until we ship it. So this is something new that we've never done before, and it's you can pre-register at autodesk.com/smoke trial, and we'll let you know when it's available. So
it's pretty remarkable. Now, Barry, you I mean, your day job is working on Smoke, correct?
Yeah, that's right. I'm using at MTI Film, where I'm an online finishing editor. I'm constantly using Final Cut Pro, Avid, and Smoke on the Mac, and I'm really finding it's a great tool for pulling off customers' problems in client-driven situations. So somebody will say, like, can you remove that sign? And I'm like, sure, I'll take it out, because I know that I have the depth of the tool set that I have in Autodesk Smoke. I did want to bring up one thing that I found as a Smoke user frustrating on my end, which I really think in the new version is awesome, is that the way to get media into the system has been really rethought in a really smart way, and maybe you can talk about that.
Yeah, well, actually, I'll talk about that and just the whole design philosophy around how we got to this. So when we came out with Smoke 2 years ago, it's a great product. It had great creative tools, and people like Barry, who put the time into it and already had some background with our technology, you could get up to speed and use it right away. But what we realized is everything from how the editing worked to the media workflow, people would say, I can't even get my media into the box. What's wrong with me? And it's like, what we realized is we needed to kind of modernize that. So we removed, there was a double-step process. You had to sort of import and then bring to your editing area. We removed that. We put a new Media Hub browser in. So the idea with the Media Hub is that you have direct access to everything.
And it's a thumbnail view too, so you can see what you're looking for right away. You just find the little clip proxy in the browser and start working with it.
Not only that, you can tab to the Finder, and you can drag and drop from the Finder right into Smoke. Or if you take, and again, it's designed for media and media workflows. So if you have a sequence of images, it's not going to bring that in as 500 little individual images. It'll say this is a clip, and it'll be smart enough to identify it that way. You could add clip metadata like time code and things to it like that. So it's really the idea was to not make it hard. Like, we know we have great effects tools, but we were frustrated because we had a solution that we thought it just wasn't reaching the people that we wanted to use it. So I'm really excited. Exactly what you said. People that are, the thing about Smoke that's amazing, it has this heritage of coming from those client-driven sessions. But I think really anybody needs that kind of thing. Like when you see something, can I remove that sign?
Yeah.
And if you don't have something that's like Smoke, you might say, well, I'm going to have to export it and go to this.
Pixels are a thing that I really find it's a great tool. Like, oh, there's a dead pixel on that person, on that chair or whatever in this TV show. I just like take it out, drop it back into the timeline, and I'm done. And there's no, worrying about color space or round tripping in between applications, taking it to Photoshop, bringing it back.
Yeah.
It's just very fast, very fluid.
Yeah, and they're all great applications. I mean, I think there are a lot of great task-specific applications out there. But I think when editors or people doing effects work are in a suite or in their room,
people are saying, "Can we ship it now? Can we
yeah,
get it done?"
well, it's that, or you're in the zone creatively, and if you have to kind of stop and take that left turn to go to something else, it kind of breaks your workflow in a way that we think is not the best way to do it. So, but more than anything, I'm excited based on the reaction we're getting. I can't wait until June when people start using this thing. I'm going to get a copy to Barry and see what he thinks of it, and I think it's a really exciting time. We're very happy about the new Smoke.
Well, Barry, you were at the demo last night at the press event, and you saw some of the new user interface and some of the new tools. I know you did some quick color demo as well. So, yeah. From an established Smoke editor, how do you feel about this? What are you excited to jump in on?
Oh, for me as an experienced user, the most exciting thing, the thing I find most exciting is the Connect effects, because I've been struggling to make things work in the modular keyer. For people who know what that is, an advanced keying module, but I'm trying to use it to do things it's not really designed for. So now that the power of the node-based compositing is going to be available for Smoke on the Mac, to me as an end user, I'm like, wow, this is awesome. I can't wait. It's like so many times I want to working on a shot and I want to regrain it, and I just want to see it in context of my whole composite. It's a fantastic addition.
Yeah, and it was something that it's been one of the most requested features, not only from people like yourself that already were using our product, but even people looking at it. It's like that. There's nothing wrong with working in a timeline and layering effects or rendering things out and creating new media and then working that way. But it really it didn't give you that flexibility, like you said, when you're working and you can very quickly say, I just want to try something out. No, that didn't work. Let me try it here. And what we did is we looked at all our technology and said we can figure out how to do that. We did kind of re-architect it for the Connect Effects workflow. And I think it's pretty cool because there are node-based compositing solutions out there on the Mac, and they're very good. But they are forcing you out of the editorial world. And like what I love is in Smoke, you can go to the timing view and you see the relationship of all your clips in context of the timeline. So trying to maintain that connection back to editorial was core to how we wanted to design that workflow.
Yeah, and for me as an editor, that's really great because I can see things in context. So when you're working in a shot-based workflow, you're like, okay, that looks good and that looks good, but what about the shot before? Or what about the shot after? Or like, I want to steal a reflection from this shot 3 shots before, or that sign, and you take it from 4 shots later. It's just easy for me as a finisher to like, oh, I need to grab this bit and put it over here. Great, I just find it, grab it, put it over here, and I'm done.
Yeah, what I think it does, a lot of those workflows, like the way you're talking about it, I can see that there's a certain fun way of working that way because like there's always those jobs where you're like, oh, I guess I got to clean up this mess or something. But a lot of times when you get in that workflow, what's fun when you're working in a fast environment like Smoke is you don't see everything as a challenge, right? Because you're like, I can just grab this reflection and use it here. Yes. And then you get in that relationship where you can offer, like the person you're working with, you're doing work for somebody. You're not going, oh, well, if I do this, it's going to take another 2 hours and cost you this. You're like, no, let me just fix that for you. Exactly. And then your client's like, I love working with Barry. Yeah, that's great. I don't know what he's doing there, but it's fantastic. So I think that's really exciting for us too, to introduce that workflow to more people.
Yeah, it's a great problem-solving tool. That's one of the main things I like about it is that you can basically throw anything at me and I can make it work or fix it on the fly enough to make my deadlines.
Yeah.
Well, they're telling us we need to wrap up, but it's great that you'll get a copy to Barry and he'll
Absolutely.
be able to share his thoughts with the post worlds. And thank you very much, Barry. Thank you. We'll be back tomorrow. We're done for the day, but check into postmagazine.com for more news.